Well, hello, friends. Let's see if our Friday night internet signal will hold for one more video. So I have been needing to do this video all month long, and I have waited. I've kind of waited until near the end of the month, which might have some supply issue problems, knowing myself, but and kind of how the catalogs have been working. But I do want to go ahead and give you guys an overview of my Cape Cod scrapbooking workshop. So I'm super proud of this, and you guys are loving it. It has been years since I have had a workshop this popular. You guys have absolutely been loving it. So there's been lots of consultants that have purchased the files, the cutting guide through PayPal, so they can offer it to their own customers. And my customers are loving it as well. So this is also going to be the workshop that provides the pieces for the add-on kit. Now, as I always say, one of these days we're going to come up with a fun, snazzy name for the add-on kit. That day is not today. I don't know. We're going to call it something fun one day, but for now, it's still just the add-on kit. And so the add-on kit is just another fun little incentive / thank you gift that I create each month for my customers. And so what I want to, because we're going to be referring to it throughout the course of the video, the add-on kit for this month is all of the pre-cut cardstock and print and cut Cricut pieces to create these 12 pages. So the only cardstock that you guys will need if you qualify for an add-on kit, the only cardstock you will need are your base pages. That's all you need. Everything else, other than your pattern paper, you'll need your pattern paper and your base pages. Everything else is included in this kit for you, and it's pre-cut. So you have all of your cardstock pieces that are pre-cut. I'm not going to empty this out because there's a ton of little pieces in there, but I have done a ton of print and cut for you. And I will just tell you, if you guys are familiar with print and cut, you have to print them in like sheets. And so what I did, just because it seems silly to be printing and cutting sheets that were not completely full, I gave you guys a bunch of extra images. I pretty much just filled up those sheets until you couldn't fit any more images on there and cut those and stuck them all in the envelope. So you guys are going to have more print and cut pieces than what you actually need. So like there's extra seashells in there and crabs and beach chairs and, fun things like that. This little fence I think is my favorite ever. But this is all going to be gifted to, you have to be one of the next 3 because I only have 3 left and I don't restock these. But I give these to my customers who place a $125 order on my website. So they actually will receive the add-on kit, providing it's still in stock. And then they also get the 6 project stamp of the month kit. So they actually get 2 pre-cut project kits. This one is a complete kit. Okay. So they'll put together all 6 of these projects, but, the add-on kit is going to be the pre-cut pieces for this workshop. So there's still going to be a supply list for this big workshop. You can see that on the blog. I will link it below in this video. But this is going to be something that is going to save you, some money, but most importantly, it's going to save you a lot of time. So one of the things that is required to put this workshop together, and hang on one moment, guys. Sorry, I had a video playing in the background and that's not going to help my internet signal, of course. So, one of the things that are listed on the supply listing is the Cape Cod SVG collection. Now, you guys know, if you've kind of paid attention to Close to My Heart's catalogs the last several years, we've been creating collection SVGs. So they're going to coordinate with the papers and the accessories and all of that. And it's created by Close to My Heart. But as much as I love these, they are challenging for someone who is not super duper skilled with their cutting machine of choice. Okay, let me elaborate. So give me just a moment. Like when we do Cricut, if you guys are familiar with Cricut, that is my machine of choice. That's what I choose to work with. When I create a file for you guys and send you a link, you open it up and everything that I put in that file using a Cricut image is exactly the way that I have sliced and diced it, right? So like when you guys look at the bumblebee card that we just put together, that is all of these slicing and dicing of these little hexagons. When I send that to you, this is exactly how it comes. It's already sliced and diced. So you don't have to do any of that work. You literally just click the make it button and it spits it out, right? SVGs are not like that. You guys have to purchase the SVG collection, which is not expensive. It's only $9.95. It's a great value, by the way. But if you're not super duper familiar, it's going to be challenging for you. So you're going to have to download the images, then upload the images. And then I did a lot of offsetting. So all of my images have the black, outline around them. So everything I've ungrouped, I've added a black offset, I've grouped it back together. That's listed in the cutting files. And if you're completely comfortable and able to do that, you will have no trouble. It's not difficult at all. But for a person, and I have many customers who are like this, for a person that is very unskilled with Cricut and feels overwhelmed at the thought of doing that, that part will be challenging for you, okay? And so I mentioned that if you are one of those people and you feel strongly about putting this workshop together, this add-on kit is going to be your BFF, and it's going to be worth every penny of an order that you have to place to qualify for it. You're going to earn it for free, but it comes free with a qualifying order. Okay. So this is going to be something that's definitely going to save you a ton of time and a ton of headache. And if you're going to qualify for the add-on kit, then you do not need to add the SVG collection to your shopping cart unless you just want it for other projects, okay? Because everything that you're going to need for the SVG collection will come pre-cut for you if you qualify for the add-on kit. Like I said, I have 3 left, and they're first come, first serve. Once they're out, I don't restock them, okay? So just FYI, I have 3 left, and they're for the next 3 people who place the qualifying orders, okay? So let's talk quickly about the supply listing, and then we're going to go through the artwork, which is the fun part, right? So you guys are going to need the Cape Cod paper pack and stickers. Now, hear me, okay? Like red flags, caution tape, the whole 9 yards, right? Close to my heart is trying to kind of get a better idea about projecting inventory so we don't have a lot of leftovers. What they want is they want that product to go right to the very end, but not a day over. And so if it sells out, a few days before the end of the month or a few days before the end of the catalog, that is good news for them. So here is why I want to mention this, okay? We have a paper schedule. So they are promoting Cape Cod, which is what we've made the workshop with, during the month of July. Okay. If Cape Cod sells out after July is over, previously when this has happened, they did not reorder it. Okay. So again, if this paper decides to sell out, we're nearing the end of July, right? We're featuring this paper during July. We're not featuring this paper next month. If there's leftovers, you can still buy it. But if there's not leftovers, they're not necessarily always going to reorder something to span the lifespan of the catalog if it's a paper that they've already featured. We've seen that happen time and time again. So I mention that because the Cape Cod workshops, scrapbooking and card banking, have already sold out one time. And they have reordered it. We're getting so close to the end of the month, I don't know that they'll do that again. And so if the paper or the stickers or the embellishments sell out, I don't know that they'll reorder them. I'm not going to say one way or the other. I'm just saying in the past several books, they have not reordered them. So if this is a workshop that you guys want, and you say, Suze, I don't care about an add-on kit. I'm going to make it myself. But I'm going to wait and place my order next month. I'm just telling you, I don't know that it'll be here next month. It might not be. So I don't want you to be very upset if these things sell out and they don't reorder them, because nothing is guaranteed to last until the end of the catalog, because I don't want that leftover inventory. Okay. So we're going to need the Cape Cod paper collection and the sticker sheets. Okay. This is all going to be in the blog post that I'll link down below the video. Okay. You're going to need the accessories. So these are fun. They have the paper board, which is like a half thickness chipboard almost, in the craft and the white. And then you've got these blue acrylic shapes as well. So you can kind of see a better picture of them here in the catalog. So we're going to use those as well. As I said, we use the SVG collection, but if you're going to qualify, for the add-on kit, you don't actually need it. So don't add it to your cart if you're going to qualify for an add-on kit. Now, a few things that we use that are outside of this collection that you guys can find back in the annual book, the great big fat yearly book, right? We kind of forget about this, right? Because we get the new stuff every other month. But there's still fun things in here for at least another month or so. It's going to retire here quickly. But one of the things that I use, and you're going to see in the artwork, and it looks amazing, is this stencil pack. So it's going to be stencil pack number 1. Again, all these item numbers are on the blog post, so you guys don't have to worry about grabbing your catalog or writing anything down. But what I loved about it is they have these awesome beachy themed little stencils on here. So look here, you've got the palm leaves. This one is Hello Sunshine. I love this little sun setting with the waves, and then you've got the birds over top. The wave is the one that I was just completely addicted to, and I used it on every single page of the workshop, okay? I should have used the others, but I just got so addicted to this, I think I maybe kind of forgot. You've got a fun little seashell border down here, and another one that would be a cute little accent as well. But I use this stencil pack. Now, is it necessary? It's not. You guys don't have to grab it, but I did use it, so I want you to be aware that that's something that heavily embellished the pages, and I think when you see the artwork that you're going to like it as well. So we did use a stencil from the annual book, and then I used a few accessories from the annual book. I used the Mist Shimmer Trim, okay, and it was the majority of the roll there. So if you have one already in your stash, you can try to stretch it. I don't know if it'll stretch the whole way because I used almost the whole roll. And then I also used the blue dots and the teal dots. So I had fun just kind of mix and matching them throughout the workshop. You guys can use from your stash. You can pick one or the other. It doesn't matter. It's up to you. That really won't affect the overall look of the workshop in the same way that, you know, missing the sticker sheet or missing the SVGs or something like that would. So then you on the supply list, you have the colors of the base pages that you guys will need. Now on the blog post with that supply listing, it's going to tell you what colors of base pages you need, and that's the only cardstock that you will need if you qualify for the add-on kit, okay? Again, I try to keep that separate so everyone understands exactly what you will need to put the workshop together, whether you are qualifying to receive an add-on kit or you're not, okay? So those are the consumable supplies that we're going to need. Now, I did list out the ink colors that I used as well: Espresso, Periwinkle, Lagoon, and Bluebird. And there are a few non-consumable supplies on the list as well. So like your blending brushes and the Cricut shapes that I used and that kind of thing. So that is all pretty straightforward. And again, everything that you guys need to know before you place your order is all in that blog post that I'll link down below, okay? So you're going to have photos, just like the rest of my kits. You guys are going to have photos of the pages. There are even more photos of these inside the Google folder. That's how I store my files and my photos. All the resources for a particular workshop is all housed inside a Google folder. So you guys don't need to worry about downloading a different program or different software in order to use my files. They're just PDFs and JPEGs. It's pretty standard, okay? So you have more photos inside the Google folder if you want like up close pictures of the clusterings of the embellishments and things like that. So you have your photos here if you guys want to put them together just based on the photos, and then you have a full cutting guide. So I do want to mention one more time that if you qualify for the add-on kit, the only thing that you will have to cut are your 6 sheets of pattern paper. Everything else I've cut for you. Okay, only 6 sheets of pattern paper. It's just a few straight trimmer cuts. There's nothing on Cricut. So if you're someone that says, Suze, I don't have a Cricut, or I don't want to use my Cricut, or I don't know how to use my Cricut, but I want to do your workshop, that add-on kit is going to solve all of your problem. You do not need a Cricut if you qualify for the add-on kit. That is why I produce it that way, is so that my ladies who don't have Cricuts are still able to put it together if they would like, okay? So you've got just your 6 pieces that you'll need to use your trimmer cuts for. Cricut cuts everything else, and it's provided in the add-on kit if you have earned that, okay? So you have these files as well. On the front of the add-on kit, guys, you have your QR code that'll take you right to that Google folder. So if you get this in the mail, that'll take you right there. You don't even have to wait on me to send files or anything like that, okay? So we've gone over supply listing. We've talked a little bit about the add-on kit. Let's have a look at the artwork. And you guys, I just gotta tell you, the beach is my happy place. I'm excited because I get to go next week. That's why you guys are getting peeks at the August workshops a little earlier than normal, because I get to go to my happy place. But I just love the color scheme of this collection. When I first saw it, Periwinkle in my mind is not a blue, it's a lavender. Some of my buds disagree, and that's okay. I love you anyway. But it looks purple to me. And when I saw purple in a beach kit, I thought, wow, that is just very strange. I was not expecting that. I didn't know how I felt about it, but oh my gosh, you guys, when you pair it with the Bluebird and the Lagoon, it's absolutely beautiful. I also added in a couple tones of brown that you will see as we kind of go through here, but I think it turned out amazing. So this is layout number 1. You guys can see here's some of our stenciling, okay? And on those files, there is a document. One of the files is called supply listing and additional information. Your additional information is going to go through each layout. And so it's going to tell you what color of ink I used, on the stenciling. If there's anything like if there's a sticker that you need to cut in half and use on different pages, that's noted as well. So I don't do step-by-step directions because in my history of my career, I have asked and asked and asked, and my customers have always just said, Suze, we wouldn't look at them anyway. We can put your stuff together based on a photo. There's nothing difficult or complicated about it. In fact, I can't even tell you the last time I actually had a question about assembly, because my work is so simplistic. So I don't have step-by-step directions, but if there's something that I feel like is worth mentioning that you guys need to know, like I said, for instance, cutting a sticker in half or putting a dovetail trim somewhere, I'm going to make a note of that for you so that you're not completely, like in left field, not knowing like, okay, I have 2 stickers that are these circles, but I only have 1 sticker and I don't know where the other one is. Well, if I make a note for you to tell you that you cut it in half, then that's gonna, probably need all the assistance that you have or that you would need. So you'll have little notes about the different layouts and hopefully that will be enough for you guys to be able to put it together with no trouble. Like I said, not had trouble in a long time. So, fun wave stenciling here in these upper corners. I love stenciling, you guys, because it's a way to add a little, what I call something, right? Sometimes our cardstock looks a little bare. If you were to like do a bunch of random stamping or put a bunch of stickers up there, put a bunch of Cricut cuts up there, you're going to clutter it up really quickly, right? And I'm a person that I call it sensory overload. My eyes just need sometimes a quiet spot to rest. Is anyone else like that? Like, have you ever looked at a project and been like, whoa, the kitchen sink is missing, but they have everything else on there, right? And it's just busy from top to bottom. And it just kind of looks a little overwhelming. Well, I just don't really care for that look. So I need a little bit of quiet space. But sometimes when you look at that quiet space, it looks a little bare. And then your entire project starts to look a little bare. And then I think, oh my gosh, what do I need to grab to put up there, right? And then it's kind of like this counterproductive thing going on. Stencils are the magic solution. I absolutely promise you guys, if you are not a stenciling person now, oh my goodness, just get one. Just go get a neutral stencil and try just maybe a few in the corners or, behind a little clustering of elements or some stickers or a photo mat or something like that. Oh my gosh, you guys, it will change your entire outlook. I promise. It is awesome. So it's a great way to cover up some of that empty space, but we're not reaching that point of overwhelm, right? Or that sensory overload. So this is just a little bit of light-handed lagoon ink. And we've got these fun clusters here. I'm telling you guys, I just adore making things in Cricut. So like this palm tree here, I broke it all apart. I put a black offset around all of the leaves. I put it all back together, then flattened it. Then I stuck it in my printer for the print and cut. And then that's the image that you see here. So if you guys are skilled with doing that, you're not going to have any trouble at all. But I like to do things like that because I feel like it makes it pop. I love the black outline. It just kind of makes it pop. When you flatten something for a print and cut, it loses all of those those little like, darker edges that you see on your Cricut canvas. And this is a way to make that really pop and stand out. And so I do like to alter them. And so that's, again, why I mention so often about the add-on kit that it's going to be something you guys are definitely going to want to have if that overwhelms you. But we've got these fun little clusters here. I love to kind of just stack little things on top of each other. So you've got the print and cut, you've got the little paperboard fence down here, a couple stickers kind of staggered with a few dots around, and it just makes a fun little cluster. I don't like to put single little things all by themselves. They need a buddy, right? They need friends. So you've got some fun clusters here and there. We've got palm trees on both sides. Again, more of those stickers with the fun fence and that neat little palm tree. A little bit of the shimmer trim to kind of give it some sparkle. You can see you've got a little bit of some torn paper down here. I used both mocha and espresso. And that's kind of odd because I use 2 shades of brown. There's technically 3, I guess, because we've got toffee in there as well. But those 2 browns are very close together, but just some of the color schemes lended itself better to mocha and others lended itself better to espresso. And so, if you guys want to pick one or the other, you can, it's no big deal. But I use both of them because I can, right? So this one was super fun as well. And you guys will notice as we go throughout, I really focused on using great big large photo spaces. So not a bunch of those little teeny tiny bitty ones that you have to butcher up your 4x6s. These are going to be your really nice usable standard size photos. 4x6s never bug me. I of course print my own photos, so the little sizes don't bother me, but I know a lot of you guys just have them printed at the store. And so you really like to make use of the 4x6 photo spaces. Well, the 4x4s are awesome too, because really all you're doing is just trimming off a sliver, right? Trim off a little from the top or a little from the bottom, or, whichever place doesn't have grandpa's head in it. Trim off the edge of that. Nobody needs to see the edge of the coffee table or the pond anyway, right? So the 4x6s really are quite usable as well. Now, if you can see here, there's a perfect space to put a 6x4. So if you wanted to make a bigger photo, you certainly can. And you'll also make note that there's a lot of blank space here too. So if you guys are one of those people that you're like, sensory overload does not bother me, I am going to put all the things on here. Well, you have more room for more photos as well as more things, right? So, let's have a look at this one. Again, that wave stencil, you guys. I'm telling you, I could not put it down. I loved it. So this is Lagoon ink on top of Lagoon cardstock. The other one was Lagoon on top of white. So it was very light-handed. That's noted in the files. But this is Lagoon on top of Lagoon cardstock. And again, it's just a little something, something, right? I'm telling you, you guys are going to pick up on that. You're going to use that the next time you look at your page like that. You're going to say, yeah, it's a little something, something, right? And you'll think of me. So it's going to add just a little bit of something to kind of fill in that blank plain space. And it's a nice little pairing with our clusters. So you can see kind of the same thing like I did on the other one. You've got a nice little sticker. You've got some of the paperboard here. You got some dots, some print and cut images. Look at that cute little crab. He's really cute, right? You guys got a lot of him because he is tiny and he fit in a lot of those open spaces on those print and cut sheets. So when I was trying to fill in those blank spaces to send you guys extra pieces, those of you guys that got the add-on kit, you got a lot of the crabs and you got a lot of the extra seashells because they were little and they fit, right? So just some fun little elements here. Again, they just totally change the look when you kind of cluster them together instead of just using them one piece here and one piece there and one piece there. To me, it just kind of helps with the fluidity of the project. And you'll notice another thing to kind of help you lean towards that opinion with the fluidity is taking pieces and overlapping them. Again, you're not going to put the sticker on top of grandpa's forehead, right? That would be unkind. But there are places in your photo that is not going to be directly on top of a person's face or on top of something that is going to pain you to cover up. However, that really, in my mind, helps our eyes move from one edge to the other very smoothly, okay? It doesn't look choppy, like you've got a photo mat here and then a sticker and then, a piece of pattern paper and then another photo mat. To me, this just kind of helps it flow together a little bit better when you just slightly overlap things. So you guys will notice that if maybe you're, new to my artwork and maybe you've just found me, you're going to notice when you look at my artwork, there probably is not a layout that does not have some overlap at some point or another. So whether it is a sticker or the paperboard, which is what this is here, or a piece of pattern paper, or a print and cut, a little tiny bit of overlap. It's not going to harm your photo or distort it in any way, but it's going to add a fun element that I feel just makes the layout look a little bit smoother and a little more pleasing to the eye, at least to my eye, right? So kind of the same thing over here. You guys hear me say this every month, probably in every video when I do a layout. I like to have something that is on the left side of the layout. I want to have a buddy over here on the right. Like if they got lost in the supermarket, I want people to know that they go back together, right? So you can see, I really am very thoughtful about, the stickers that I put on either side. So I try to find stickers that have, like colors or like textures, that kind of thing. You can see you've got some of the print and cuts that are the same, some of the paperboard that are the same. I've used the birds on both sides, and you can see, of course, we've got the same patterns of paper on both pages. We've got the stenciling, the dots, the shimmer trim, the cardstock, all of that. So again, if they got separated in the supermarket, you could tell they go together. I love the look of that. And again, on the opposite side of the spectrum, I like to make one-page layouts that don't match anything. So, but when I'm working with two-page layouts, I really like them to match. Now, of all 12 pages, these two are my favorite. And it's because of this darn fence. I love this darn fence. I don't know why. I just love it. So this is the SVG. I welded a couple of them together. Again, that's listed in the files, but if you get the add-on kit, you don't have to worry about it because it's all already done for you. So everything is cut for you. There is a lot of pieces in there, you guys. It's crazy. So we've got the fun fence here. You can see cute little crab, cute little seashell, and it's got the black offset. So all of the edges have the black on them. That was done by me. That does not come that way. That's a Susan touch. Okay. So if you are playing with the SVG collection and you're like, wait a minute, I don't have mine looks different than hers. Where's the black? It's because I added it. Okay. So you've got some of the wave stencil back behind on this espresso cardstock back underneath the fence, which is super fun. I love this little paperboard piece that looks like the great big coral. That is super fun. I wish we had a whole bunch of those in the set. There was only one though, so we kind of made him the star of the show. So we've got a great big sticker here. I've dovetailed that. It was just square cut off, but I dovetailed that and I put a note of that in the files as well. This is one of your circles that were cut in half. So again, remember it needs to have a buddy on both sides, right? So that's kind of why I did that as well. You can see more of that wave stencil up here. It doesn't take lots, guys, just a little tiny bit, but it's so cool to kind of fill in some of that empty space without being overwhelming, right? So you'll notice more of those really great usable photos, not little teeny tiny bitty ones. Some fun zip strips and just a few dots kind of like scattered throughout. And I feel like this for sure is my favorite layout of the 6. You've got a few 3x4 photos on there. Here is the deal, okay? A 4x6 cut in half are 2 3x4s. So you could take a 4x6 and cut it in half. Again, don't cut off Grandpa's head. If you have a photo that you can easily cut without, decapitating someone, do that. Or what you can do with this pattern is you can take this cute little cluster of wooden paper and all these fun little print and cut pieces, and you can either move it down or you can move it up, and then you have room for a 6x4, okay? Either on the top or the bottom. So again, lots of options for you guys. If you're really focusing on those standard size photos, these patterns will be really, really helpful, I feel. So kind of the same things that you guys saw on the left. One moment. Hang on just a second. I yawned and then I coughed and then I needed a drink of tea or I was going to cough the rest of the video. So we're just keeping it real around here, you guys. No fancy editing. We're just keeping it real. So you can see same things on the right that you saw on the left. So again, they kind of match really well, right? So you got another short fence over there, cute little crab and little seashell. I just love them. They're so adorable. And I love that little wave zip strip. That is my favorite zip strip in the whole kit too. So we'll be done with this one. Let's have a look at number 4. Again, more of that brown. And the reason why I felt so strongly about the brown, that it would be okay to use so much of it, is because most of the time, when you're in the ocean, it seems like the pictures are really bright, right? So whether you have the bright sunshine or whether you go to my favorite place on the planet, which is the panhandle of Florida, where you can see all the way down to the bottom of the ocean because the water's so clear, it's very, very bright. And so I feel like if you choose to put photos, ocean photos on here, this is going to be a nice balance where your pages aren't going to be too bright and obnoxious looking, because that brown is going to kind of balance them out just a little bit. And on the other hand, if you guys don't really care for the brown, all you have to do is swap out the base pages. So grab a different color a base page if you don't like the brown, maybe something that is going to suit the photos that you are scrapbooking, maybe be even more complimentary than the espresso. Remember, there are still people that don't know this. Even we've done this for years now, that you guys can order custom cardstock packs, okay? Either in 12 packs or 24 packs. So you can go in and click, when you're ordering on the website, you can click custom 12 or custom 24, and it'll allow you to build your own cardstock pack, where some sweet person in our home office actually hand picks your cardstock that you selected in your order and place it in the baggie and ships it to your home. I don't know, that's precious. The day I learned that, I thought, oh my word, there are people back there that are actually like, they're touching every piece of cardstock. So So swap it out and put a different color there, okay? But you can build your own. Don't forget that, okay? So some more of that fun paper tearing that you saw earlier. Again, that's just a fun way to just kind of dress up a plain piece of cardstock or pattern paper. I love the bright white insides of our paper and our cardstock, and that is just kind of fun to tear that and let it show sometimes. So I think it's a fun contrast. You've got again, more of the stenciling. These fun little things here, the little signs, you've got one on either side. These are print and cut. And I left them blank on purpose because I felt like they would serve as really fun journaling spaces. So you could put, maybe the beach name or the month and the year or the people that are in the photos, or, just a little bit of quick journaling, to kind of give you like the whole, place, time, people, whatever. So you'll have 3 little layers of the wood here, and you've got 3 little rows of the wood over here. So hopefully that'll be enough to add a few little bits of journaling for you. So they are left open on purpose. And again, you can see more of these fun little clusters. You've got the print and cut and the sticker and more print and cut and the paperboard and the dots. And it's just fun to kind of stick them all together. And I feel like it's very complimentary. And sometimes what I struggle with, and I wonder if you guys are the same, I struggle with the little tiny bitty pieces, again, because when you kind of stick them by themselves, they just kind of look like they're floating out in space, and it gets a little cluttered, and I just don't really care for it. But I could take a bunch of little pieces and kind of put them all together, and it looks like a larger element that looks like it's meant to be there, that it has purpose, and it's a way to kind of use up all those little bits and pieces, right? So maybe you've used up all your titles and you just have these little tiny bitty stickers now. Think about taking those little bitty stickers and pairing them with maybe a print and cut image or part of the paperboard accessories or a sticker, or even next to a photo mat or something like that. It gives it purpose when it's kind of sitting next to a buddy. Again, this is my own personal thought, and you guys might be listening to this being like, this chick is crazy. What is she even talking about? And that's okay. Like I said, we can still be friends. So more of what you see on the left, you see on the right. So again, more of those fun clusters and the tearing and the cardstock and all the things. And again, some of my peeps are like Suze. I don't put things on top of my photos. Don't do that. I do put things on top of my photos. So if you guys don't want to put something on top of your photos, even though it's okay because most photos have a blank space that needs to be filled in anyway, you have plenty of other spaces on the page to add those elements, and you can still include them in your layouts, and they won't be layered on top of your photos if that bothers you, okay? I'm going to yawn again. Oh, my word. Okay. Remember I told you that I wasn't sure about the purple in the beach pages? Well, this is my second favorite layout next to the one with the fence. I absolutely love it. I want to know of you guys that are watching, and there's several of you watching this, this crazy lady this late at night. Do you guys see periwinkle as in the blue family or the purple family? I'm just curious. I see it as purple. It looks very lavender-ish to me with a little bit of blue mixed in, but it's most definitely purple to me. But I have peeps that swear it's in the blue family, and I don't agree. So I'm just curious if you guys want to weigh in. Is periwinkle purple or blue? I'm curious to see whose side you guys are on. But we use a little bit of the periwinkle ink with that fun wave stencil again. And look here, guys, there's a lot of open area up here, right? You've got a title that's fairly small for the open space up here. Like the per scale, it's not a super duper great big title, right? You've got a little bit of the wood grain paper over here, but this is a lot of open space up here. That is a good chance that it's going to look rather bare, right? Look at how great the wave stencil, it just kind of filled some of that in, and it doesn't look bare at all. It has a little bit of softness added to it. Got a little bit of what I sometimes call quiet texture in the background, or a little something, something, right? And it just is such a nice contrast to the bold, dimensional elements that are on top. And I say it again, guys, I feel like if you ever started stenciling, you would never go back. Absolutely never go back. So I encourage you, grab a neutral one. If you don't want something that's super duper themed, grab a neutral one and begin adding it to some of your pages and some of those little blank areas. I think you'll really, really like it. So we've got the beach life, some more of those fun little birds up there. And again, dots. This is just a little bit of that paper. I like to take the pattern paper and sometimes cardstock and trim it into usually, hang on. Oh my goodness. Sorry. Another yawn. I usually trim it into either 1/2 inch strips or sometimes 3/4 inch strips. And then you tear off the edges and it kind of gives you the look of washi tape. I love the look of that. I absolutely love it. I like to see the white frayed edges showing. I just think that's super fun. So another fun little idea for maybe you guys to use with some of your scraps or your zip strips or, little tiny bitty leftovers that you guys have. So, more fun, usable photo spaces. Again, you can see just a little clustering here. You've got the stencil behind the little paper board with the sticker and that kind of thing. The dots are always such a nice little way to add. It just looks like it puts the finishing touch on it when you guys will put a few dots here and there. I just love the little touches of this page. Again, more of what you see on the left over here on the right, including the torn paper. I have to wonder too, are you guys like that where, you like to have things that are on the left? Do you like to bring them over to the right as well? Or do you like each page to kind of be unique in its own? That is something that makes me curious as well. So last one, again, just fun, usable photo spaces. Okay. Some great stickers. You've got the fun stenciling in the background. I've used some of those, larger stickers that I had initially. Whew, I'm going to have to start getting more sleep before I do videos, guys. I initially was not really sure what to do with some of these stickers in the kit, but I think we found a home for most all of them. So more of those print and cut. You can see the fun little palm tree here with another little fence. It's noted in the files as well, but there were 2 little tiny fences left, and I wanted to put them on both edges of the page. So you can see you've got some fence here on the left and the right, and then on the left and the right. And so I just took that little paperboard and I just cut it in half. And that's what I like about that paperboard is you can manipulate it really easily. You can just cut it with your scissors. You don't even need an X-Acto knife. It just cuts right with your scissors. And so that's, of course, noted on the files. But again, it's just another fun way to kind of stretch those, maybe in ways that you're not thinking about, right? So just some fun little elements. Again, they are sitting on top of the photos, but they're not necessarily going to be sitting on top of a person's head. When I deconstruct this and I put my own photos on here, I will maneuver this around. If someone's head is up here, then I'll move it somewhere else. It won't be a big deal, but please do not be worried about placing things over the edges of your photos. It is a very nice, eye-pleasing look, I think. This is a fun little paperboard piece as well, guys, and it comes in multiple pieces. But what I want to make a note, and this is in the files as well, that I put a little bit of mocha cardstock. A little tiny strip is in your cutting guide of mocha cardstock that goes in between the 2 layers of the wood, so you can read this a little better. They just had this wood piece on top of another wood piece, and if you kind of held it right, you could see it, but it wasn't super duper clear and visible. And so I felt like it popped it up a little bit. You could read it much better if you put a little strip of the mocha cardstock. So that is kind of what I did there. Again, it's listed in the files, but it's worth mentioning for people that are watching that maybe are not going to get the workshop. It might give you some ideas for your own artwork and that kind of thing. So again, I feel like the mist cardstock was a nice touch. That's something that's really interesting with the glitter paper and the shimmer trim, is that mist is not in the color palette of the Cape Cod. Oh my gosh, you guys, sorry. Have we hit the world record for yawns on camera? The mist is not in the color palette of the Cape Cod. However, I felt like it was the most pleasing regarding complementary to the papers. So like when I get the papers out, I'll string my shimmer trim out and kind of line them up and see which one is going to look the nicest. And I felt like it was even prettier than the periwinkle shimmer trim. And that is a color that is in the palette of the Cape Cod. And I still think the other one looked better. So you guys might even try that. They just kind of tends to give a little bit of a different look on those glittery papers, whether they be the glitter cardstock or the shimmer trim. They're kind of the same in that regard. So this is the 12-page Cape Cod workshop. I don't know how much longer the supplies are going to last. Since it's featured during the month of July, I don't know if they'll reorder them if they sell out. Some of the things have already sold out and they have reordered them, but we're still in July. And so I don't look for them to do that as it gets near the end of the month that we featured it in, because they haven't in the past. And so that's why I mentioned that. So if you guys want to put this workshop together, I encourage you, please get your Cape Cod supplies ordered quickly. I'm going to put the link below with the blog post that has the supply listing in it. And what you guys what you guys need to remember is that if you want an add-on kit, if you have a desire to place a qualifying order to get an add-on kit, you need to do it quickly because I have 3 left and it goes to the next 3 people who qualify. I don't remake these, but you'll get the add-on kit and you'll also get the pre-cut stamp of the month kit. Okay. So you guys get 2 kits for your order amount. All right. You guys, if you do not want to place a large order, you maybe just want the cutting files, you can get those with only a $25 order on my shopping website. So if you just want the cutting guide and maybe you're going to make it with paper you have at your house, or maybe you got the Cape Cod from another consultant, you can still get the cutting files if you either place a $25 order on my website, or you can get them directly through PayPal at the bottom of the blog post. And if you're listening to this and you're a consultant, you absolutely are able to purchase those cutting files and use them for your own business. You can have that workshop with your customers, or your customers can earn the cutting files when they place a qualifying order. However you want to work that, it's kind of up to you, but it is an option that you do have. And I've had a lot of consultants this month that have bought this workshop because they want to offer it to their ladies. So you have a lot of ways to gain the cutting guide for this workshop, and the cutting guide does include the Cricut link. Just remember, none of the SVGs are in there. You have to upload those yourself and construct those yourself. Okay. So again, that's the difference between SVGs and Cricut. I wish it wasn't like that. It would make it much easier if you could share them, but I don't make the rules. So anyway, if that overwhelms you and you want to put the workshop together, the add-on kit is the way to go. Okay. So I know the video was long. They always are, for goodness sakes, but thanks so much for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Hope you guys hope you had a wonderful week, and I hope that your weekend is even better. So if you have questions about the Cape Cod workshop, or my Stamp of the Month program, or any other part of Close to My Heart that I can help you with, please just feel welcome to reach out to me. I will be so happy to serve in whatever way I'm able. And I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you next time.